How many of you balance being a student and an employee? Hi, my name is Kathleen Ruiz, and I'm currently attending Mercy College. And I also work full time at Dunkin' Donuts. I've been working there for almost about a year, and some of you may be able to relate to this. Some of you, does this sound familiar? Being a student worker? Well, if it does, then you guys might be able to understand what I'm speaking about. Balancing work and academics in college has shown positive outcomes for many students over the course of 4 years. Today, I would like to speak to you guys about three things: why students work and why others choose not to work, pros of balancing work and school, and lastly, others believe that working while in college can be detrimental to your health. I'll begin by telling you the reason why students work in the first place. There are many reasons why students decide to work. Many obstacles arise over in college, and one of the things is because we want spending money. We decide to work because we want spending money. According to Lauren Dunders from the College of Student Retention, in 2007, she held a study, and 80% of students stated that the only reason why they worked was because they wanted to have pocket money. But that isn't a problem. That's actually something good. But I came here to tell you guys the problem and why students want to work. The problem is many of our families are financially struggling. We're below middle class, and we barely make a lot of money. And then on top of that, that means that we have to take out college loans when we go to school. And college loans leave us with a beautiful debt by the time we graduate. Schools enforce students to join work study so they can work, and on top of that, it'll be able to pay off some of the bills that they have. College loans can be very expensive, and some students get a job, so before they graduate, they have paid a majority of their college loans off. Another thing is that it is difficult to buy textbooks because financial aid just isn't enough. So students get a job and save up money, so when the semester comes around, they're able to buy the textbooks. And textbooks can be very expensive. Textbooks are very expensive, and some textbooks even come up to over $100, and we barely even get to read them in class. Lastly, our parents want us to show that we're responsible and that we can handle money. Did you know that 13% of students work just to please their parents? Talking about parents, this leads me to the reason why some students don't work. Some students have the divine privilege of having parents who are financially stable. My freshman year, parents that are financially stable are able to pay for things like textbooks. They're able to pay off the college dues that some students have a difficult time paying. And also, some parents just are there. They're supportive. They help. But that doesn't mean that parents who are financially struggling aren't supportive either. They are. They just don't have the money and the funds to help their children. My freshman year of college, I messed up completely. I didn't work, so I had a lot of free time. All I did was go to class and go back to my dorm. And because I had a lot of free time, how did I fail? But let me tell you guys, because I had a lot of free time, I spent a lot of my time procrastinating, watching Netflix, and not focusing on the assignments. I missed a lot of assignments, and that caused me to fail majority of my classes. So when I came to Mercy, I found a job, and my grades have risen. I had a GPA of 1.9, and now my GPA is a 2.7. I've risen it. I bring it up. And I'm proud of that, because it kind of sucked to have a bad grade, but, now it's getting better. This leads me to the benefits of working while being a student worker. Students learn to prioritize, mainly. So making money is important, yeah, but school is way more important than that. Always remember that the reason why you're working is because of school. Always remember that. School always comes first. So, for example, let's say you have an assignment due, but you need more time and you have to work in the morning. Some students might go to work and just miss the assignment. Well, the smart thing to do is call out. School comes first, right? So call out and get that assignment done. But make sure you call your job at an appropriate time. Another thing that's good about working is that you learn time management skills. always keep, time management, you always got to keep busy. That's the thing about time management. You always have to have something to do. So when you have a lot of free time, you procrastinate a lot. When you're working and going to school, it's hard to procrastinate. Why? Because when you have study time, it's precious. It's important. So you make it a priority. You make it a priority to finish your assignment on time. Something that you could do is make a schedule of your day to day, and if you see any free time, fill it in with something to do, like reading or do an assignment. If you're up with all your assignments, skip ahead and do an assignment for next week, so you have free time. Just always find something to do. So I want to show you guys my visual aid, and it's this. It's called Managing Time, and it's basically all the things that you can do to manage time. And it says, how does everything get done? And it has a list of like sleeping, going to the gym, working on campus, etc., etc. So I look at this list many of the time and find anything that I need to do. So sometimes when I have a lot of free time, I say, let me go hang out with friends and let's catch up with them. Or sometimes I want to go exercise and work out, and I add that into my list and I do that. So it's always ways to manage your time, and this is a good way to use it. Just a list of stuff that you can do. As I said before, I improved my grades when I started working. So my improvement was something that I'm very proud of. Till this day, I'm still proud of it, and I hope to continue improving. That's all I want to do. And if you find yourself thinking that work is hindering your success, then maybe you need to cut your hours, or maybe just working while you're in school isn't for you. Working while in school is only for students who know how to be responsible and know how to differentiate school and work. According to Gary Stern from the Hispanic Outlook in Higher Education, in 2014 he studied that 95% of participants stay in college and graduate in 4 years, while others who don't work graduate in 5. Students who work, they have a goal, they have a mindset, which is go to work, go to school, and then graduate. While students who don't work, they get distracted by other things. They decide to take a year off. That's why it's very important to work while you're in school or do something, so you have a goal so you can finish. Others might say that working while in college could be detrimental to your health. They say that students who work become too tired, or they become lazy and they don't want to do their assignments. For example, John Harrison, Journal of Men's Studies, he studied working students. And one of the students that he studied, his name is Jeremiah. And Jeremiah said, but I do work a lot. It's kind of hard to work and pass all your classes. I get out of work at 1:45 in the morning, and I have class at 7 in the a.m. So that means I got to wake up at 6, and I'm tired. It's just work and school, no time to study. Jeremiah is overworking himself. Jeremiah only gets about 4 hours of sleep, because by the time he comes home it's 2 and he has to get up at 6. He only gets 4 hours of sleep. You need 8. On top of that, he should have fixed his schedule up to make it so that he has more sleep time, and so he won't feel too tired. For example, if he gets out of work at 2 in the morning, he can schedule a class for 10 o'clock. There are different classes that you can schedule, so make that work. There's always a way to make it work. Or if not, find a job that its hours work around your schedule. Make your schedule first, and then make your schedule with your job. Why? Because school comes first. Work doesn't understand that we're students, people say. Moses worked at a movie theater and asked to work an extra shift. No, and his supervisor asked him to work an extra shift, but Moses declined and say that he has to go to class. His supervisor told him, skip class, skip it, and work. If you find yourself in this situation, you have to tell your manager, always tell your supervisors, whoever they are, that school comes first. When you first get the job, show them your schedule, your class schedule, and tell them, listen, these are the times that I will not be available. Do not ask me to come in and work a shift. Say it respectfully, of course, and tell them that school is important to you. So if it's important to you, they, as your employers, should feel that it's important. If it's important to you, it's important to them. In conclusion, as you can easily see, being a working student takes effort and responsibility. I'm not saying I've told you about I've told you about why students choose to work, why others choose not to work. I've also told you about the pros of working, and I've also told you how others feel about working students. I hope my points have persuaded you to find a job or a hobby or something to just fill your time up so you don't have a lot of time to procrastinate. We all want one thing, and that's to graduate. Careers look at things like how we spent our time wisely, and also if you kept a job for a long period of time. Do you have a lot of free time? How about volunteering or getting a job, like I said? I'm not saying that it's going to be easy. Sometimes I get tired myself, and sometimes I get sleepy, and I sleep in class. That's because I let my personal life come in between my work and school. When I do that, I let something else take control, and I lose gear. So, take control of your life. Use your time wisely. I'll leave you with this quote. Some of you sleep more than you love success. If you want to be successful, you got to be willing to give up sleep. If you go to sleep, you might miss the opportunity to be successful. Hi, my name is Kathleen Ruiz. Thanks for watching my presentation.